Oceans. The last wild, untamed place on Earth. With water covering 70% of our planet, and yet only 5% explored, the sea's a modern adventurer's last playground.
Being on the boat, there's only one thing better than that, it's being with your family.
Alicante, Spain sees the start of the Volvo ocean race around the globe, nearly 500 years after Ferdinand Magellan's fateful first attempt. 7 international teams are racing over 70,000 kilometers in some of the world's most hostile and remote environments.
The furthest from land you can possibly get on the planet.
They're sailing 24/7.
It's undescribable. It's just relentless.
Fighting storm, cold, exhaustion.
I can't hear in this air anymore because it's been hit by so much water.
Each other.
Can you have an excellent sailor but still be a pain in the ass?
The correct answer is yes. I've sailed with a few.
And risking their lives.
Don't leave without me.
Giving everything to win one of the toughest races on the planet.
It's pretty rough.
This is their story. Alicante, Spain to Cape Town, South Africa is the first leg of the Volvo Ocean Race. A 9-month sea odyssey crossing 4 oceans and 5 continents. After a week of sailing, the 7 teams have left the Mediterranean Sea behind and are capturing the inland sub-Saharan winds to race the African coast. The offshore race is not so offshore right now. To find their marks on board the one-design Volvo Ocean 65 and to avoid mistakes, the teams are sticking together. It's a real battle to lead the fleet.
Dolphin with a masthead. Mapfree with a masthead. Abu Dhabi with a pro. And a staysail hoisted, and Brunel with a fro, and SCA with a fro.
Unfortunately for the all-female crew, they lost their top position out of the Gibraltar Pass for a less fortunate one.
We're trying to be sure that we're on the right tack as we're going upwind, so we can't point where we want to go. We've got to choose 40 degrees one way or 40 degrees the other way, and so we kind of have a feeling what's going to happen, and we're just sort of trying to not lose the fleet.
Being so close to the coast is a risky business, especially when sailing through Morocco's fishing waters.
Blow it, Abby! Abby, blow it!
We were fortunate enough that we could handle the boat. It's not very windy. It's only about 12 knots of wind, so we could handle the boat with sails.
I saw it. Just don't go to the rudder.
Unfortunately, the boat tangles itself in a fishing net, a racing sailor's nightmare.
The guys on the boat were quite helpful. We had some sort of language barrier. We weren't speaking any language I knew, but they were quite helpful, and we got out of it without having to cut anything.
Can I get hold of it?
Yeah, let's keep going backwards. It might be okay.
The fisherman did quite a good job of driving himself the other end of the net around us as well. So we got away with it. Lucky this time.
With a bit of elbow grease and the help of the locals, the girls are back on track without losing too much time. Having the fleet racing together is something new to the Volvo Ocean Race. It increases the pressure on the crew as they're pushing their limits constantly.
You know, normally you'd be well and truly out of sight of everyone by, by 2 days. And Justin and Matt were saying that they never used to see anyone on the Green Dragon, so it's certainly a lot closer and a lot tougher racing. day we can still see all the boats, even if it's some of them are really small. But it's all these 4 first days it's been very tight, and I think it's one design, and then I think it's no one really wants to take risk because it's early on in the race. It's the first leg. Everyone wants to have a look on the other boats a little bit and feel where they are.
It's going to be pretty full on if it's like this all the way around the world, you know. We're in the middle of the ocean, 4 or 5 days into a leg, and you know, separated by less than 0.1 of a mile. So it's busy. It's going to be close.
On board Dongfeng, the crew is fighting hard to keep their lead with Abu Dhabi hot on their trail, waiting for any opportunity to overtake them.
I was driving. We were downwind at 20 knots, 20 knots of wind. And during the night, so no visibility, no moon, no visibility. And at one moment I was completely ejected of the wheel, and I fall in the middle of the boat. And the first second, I don't know, I have no idea about what is happening. I take again the wheel, the drive, and I manage to drive the boat, but I feel something different. And the second after, I understand that we probably break the rudder.
We prepare the rudder, then we stop the boat, and we go for it.
And I was very stressed.
The 40-kilogram rudder is vital equipment. Without it, the team can't steer efficiently, and worse, they'll lose their ability to compete properly. The rudder needs replacing, but to do so, Thomas needs to dive into the dark water and insert the spare.
No. You got the sheet in the water. I don't know what we have smashed, but the rudder broke very clean, just under the lower bearing, so it was quite easy to get the stock out, which usually is the worst part.
I think we really showed really nice teamwork when we prepared the rudder. We stopped the boat. We got the rudder back into the boat. I think we really showed that we're all working together.
One team's loss is another team's gain. Finally, Ian Walker and his crew are taking the sought-after lead at the front of the fleet.
On our line behind, we've got SCA and Brunel.
In previous Volvo ocean races, the fleet would have been sailing west by now, but a huge low depression in the North Atlantic Ocean is cancelling the trade winds from the Azores, and high pressure is forcing the teams to seek the inland winds created by the difference of temperature between the Atlantic Ocean and the Sahara Desert.
Normally by this stage you're really trying hard to work west and make sure you're outside the Cape of Verdes. So we're essentially trying to squeeze along and just a narrow lane right close to the coast. I was just looking, we can see just on the bow, we can see Matfree, and just under her you can see Abu Dhabi. It's still pretty close. I think we can still see everyone.
Pretty close, maybe too close for the local authority. With no visa or proper paperwork, the teams could finish the leg in troubled waters.
It's very fast.
Will, what are we seeing?
Oh, well, we just heard a little bit of radio chatter before, someone trying to call Matfree, and then we look and we see a warship on the horizon, then we see them put a boat in the water, and now we see a small vessel doing about 25 knots, beelining for Matfree. Well, no doubt we're in Moroccan territorial waters off the Western Sahara. We're worried about hitting the bottom, that's how close we are. So, I don't know, sometimes Morocco's not happy about these things. But
On Mapfre, the situation has taken an interesting turn. It's actually a warship from the Spanish army wanting to wish them well for the race. Back on Alvimedica, the team still has no clue on what's going on and is getting anxious as the armed speedboat approaches them. But not for long, as the Spaniards soon cheer them up.
Albie and I reckon that those were Netty fans. Very aggressive Netty fans.
Yeah. He has a big fan club all around the world.
Yep. And that was part of his family. They just managed to hitch a ride on a warship and get out to him in Western Sahara.
It's all laughs and jokes now, but for a moment the young crew were getting worried.
We give you a gift, or Italian. Albie was hiding behind a dagger board while the
I was hiding under the dagger board. He looks strong.
Netty fans, very wild.
And as proper gentlemen, the Spanish army boat could not leave without paying tribute to the all-female crew too.
Jump in.
know their father is away. They say he's doing the Volvo ocean race and they don't really understand. Venga, va. Arriba, arriba. Come on, arriba. The boys, they're quite young. They're 3 and 4, so they know their father is away and he's sailing, and they know he's not going to be back in some weeks. Say hello. Decid hola. No. Hello. They don't really know exactly what he's doing. They say he's doing the Volvo ocean race, and they tell their friends, but yeah, they don't really understand yet. After the boats left, life came back to normal in just one day. Because when you get here and you start with the daily routines, school, friends, it all gets back to normal. The reason why we're in Santander is because the Spanish Sailing Federation, the base for the Olympic athletes is Santander. So Iker moved here like 15 years ago, and now he's still sailing in the Olympic team. He has to be based here. Hola, Jane. Muy bien.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien. So Jane is the director of the center, Alejandro Abascal. He was Iker and Xavi's former 49er coach. And Iker always says that all he knows about sailing was taught by Jane. So he's a very special person for Iker.
It was really fun to work with Iker and Xavi. So many years, and they were so good that they won a lot of races.
When Iker is at home, he trains here, so he spends most of the day here. And when I pick up the boys from school, we usually come here and meet him after sailing. This sailing center is like being at home. We feel very well here.
In a race where all the boats are identical, the navigator's abilities are vital if you are to top the podium. Among these extraordinary men is Andrew Cape, or Capey, known for his incredible navigation skills, as well as his fiery temperament, especially when things go south.
Just went from close first to last, and got the breeze again before us. Just had to keep battling on, but Capey doesn't want to answer any questions today.
Even his crew knows when not to poke the bear.
You want to ask Capey a question?
That's going to be a hard one.
Good luck. Chance 1 out of 10? I'll give you a 1. Some advice?
start with a joke.
Yeah, KP, he only speaks numbers and looks through screens. It gets wider and wider every day. The skin on his face. Scary stuff.
His job is being a sailor and not being a movie star, so I think that's quite obvious.
It's KP's 6th edition of the race and his 2nd with Bowell. This time around, winning is the only option.
I'm just looking at the other boats, that's all. And the forecast in general, where we're going to go.
It's very much a navigator's race.
Oh, the forecast just wants to hit the land, then you sort of heads to 50 again.
KP is worth gold. He's very important.
It wasn't meant to be easy, and that's why it's a sport, you know. If anything goes wrong, we've got to bounce back. That's the name of ocean racing. Winning and losing this race depends on the weather. I wouldn't say fascinated by it, I just want to get it right. There's less pressure, that's why we're hugging the coast further along. Yeah. Break off the corner and go when it breezes like 20 knots. You've got to love it. You've got to also have a temperament that allows you to make mistakes and live with it and get on with the next decision. And I think that's a key. A philosophy I always believe in. We eventually get into Cape Town. That's the general idea. But one step at a time.
After a few hours of boat-to-boat racing against the other crews, Bao realizes that they're losing speed and that something is wrong.
Well, we had a little vibration on the boat, and as well we could just see that the other boats just started slowly edging away.
This is the endoscope we have on the boat. All boats have this one. We used to check the underwater, all the foils. And we have 4 holes like these ones. You can unscrew this one. More or less what I do, that is stick it in. Check the foil.
Jens quickly notices that there's something stuck in the keel. For that sort of problem, there's only one option. Somebody has to dive in, and Lewis seems to have drawn the short straw.
Junior, he's a triathlete, so he loves the water.
I used to do it when I was young, mate. The youngest in the boat does it, that's the rule.
It's around the queue, eh?
Yeah.
Lewis may be fine with diving, but he has another problem. With only 2 pairs of boxer shorts on board, getting salt water on one of them is just not an option.
Jump in.
Thankfully, Lewis is able to remove the unwanted object easily.
Piece of rubber like this.
We're sailing not faster than we were before, so we probably have been sailing like 7-8 hours like that, and yeah, that's just what it is. It's part of yard racing.
There is only one thing left to do: reunite Lewis with his dry pants, and the boat back on course.
The sailors are always talking about trimming, and they talk about trimming the sails, and that doesn't mean like cutting the bottom off the sails. Trimming in a sailing sense means basically adjusting the sail to the wind. So it's a little bit like if you were wearing a big baggy piece of clothing, it wouldn't be good. So you want it to fit your body, and in the same way we need the sails to like fit the wind, because that makes them the fastest, the most aerodynamic. So here we have our displays which show everything we need to know about how we're doing and our performance. On the top here, very important one, we have boat speed. So that's like the speed of your car. This is measured in knots. Next down, we have apparent wind angle. That's important because it shows us how we're seeing the wind on the boat. And that tells us how to trim our sails. Next, we have the true wind angle. So that is where the wind is blowing from across our boat. So it could be coming from in front of us, from behind us, or from the side of us. True wind speed. So this is telling us how much wind is being read at the top of the mast, and that's in knots as well. And at the bottom here, we have our heading. So this is like on your TomTom or your GPS in your car. This is telling us where we're heading at.
Hola. ¿Qué tal?
Bien.
Sí.
For the kids, having their father away, having Iker away is quite normal. So they are used to it. They ask for him, but they keep on going. It's like their routine here is going to school, after school activities, having fun with their friends, birthday parties, surfing, soccer playing. Actually, Iker phoned from the boat, I suppose it was Iker, like 1 hour ago, and I missed the call, so I don't know when I'll get the new one. The next one maybe tomorrow, maybe in 1 week. When he's away in the Volvo Ocean race, the only strange thing is that we can't communicate every day. So for me it's quite difficult to not being able to phone him and tell him about what's going on here and how we're going on with our lives. Juan is really involved in the race. He's 4, but he follows the tracker, he has his own tactics, he thinks about how we can maybe move forward, and following his father, he's really excited. He loves the boat. If I wake up at night because one of the boys asks for water or just cries or something, I have to check the tracker. I mean, I keep checking it all the time, even though the 3 hours have not gone by. They're fighting. It's like I need to know where they are, and I suffer a lot. Actually, I suffer just as much as they do on the boat, I think. Venga, escupe. Come on. I think they'll be excited when Daddy comes home. The first thing they'll ask him is, have you won? Because that's the question, even if he's only training, even if he's gone out cycling. When he comes back is, have you won? Solo tienes que decir buenas noches y ya está. Venga. Métete.
Long times and distances apart can prove tough for everybody. Modern communication can make loved ones seem that little bit closer.
We still have internet access when we're out here, so we can still send emails in and out of the boat. So yeah, many people send emails to the family and get emails back to the families. So once in a while you get an email in, which is pretty cool.
The kids are very excited with the race, so they're asking things every day. So far I received, 10 emails. So every day I have to find the time to reply to the kids all the questions, and it's good to have news from home, and also feel that they are part of the race. My daughter, every night they're putting a dot on the map where we are, so it's nice.
Well, I normally only answer emails because I'm too busy trying to get my job done, and the family know that, but it's always good to hear from them, and they understand that if I don't get back to them straight away, that there's no meaning in it, but it's always good to get an email just to catch up on what they're doing.
I've had a couple of emails from Megs and the kids, and today was my son's 3rd birthday today, so I sent him an email. So we'll see how that goes, and but I'll take the chance now to wish my beautiful little man Tully a very happy 3rd birthday, and I'll see him in Cape Town and buy him an ice cream.
But there's nothing like the personal touch, especially when it's a drawing from your son, reminding you how far away he is.
Oh, cool. That's excellent. It's always hard because, you like to be with I like to be with my son. That's so nice. Look at that. He's 11 years old, an age where we can also start discussing about things, and I mean, it's always been a very good moment for us to do things together. Think a lot about him, think a lot about the people you love and you're missing. It's normal. It's normal.
I think you are more probably missing your family than others.
Maybe. Must be one. Then it's me to be like that, maybe. Not a problem. I'm not... I can be proud of that. I miss him, he miss me. But, we take the best out of the situation, and
yeah, we're happy father and son anyway.
Next week, the teams hit the doldrums. Pollywog become trusty shellbacks, and it's time for the biggest decision of the race so far.
Go through the Cape Verdes.